Hello, and welcome back. I hope you're all feeling rather refreshed. Right, so we're jumping into even more interesting topics, and I am thoroughly pleased to welcome Dejan, who's going to talk about the engine for innovation and economy in the Austrian business sector. And Dejan is an absolute visionary when it comes to digital entrepreneurship. So please give him your warm welcome.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here. Great and important event for a very important topic dear to my heart. My name is Dejan Jovicevic. I'm the founder of Brutkasten. For our international guests, we're something like TechCrunch in America. In Austria, we're one of the key players in the innovation ecosystem since 11 years. And I started Brutkasten with a mission to serve the founders on their journey, but as important from the beginning was also to bridge the both worlds of startup and corporates and to foster collaboration between them. I used to work in a big media company, and I saw there through many of our clients and partners that they were 11 years ago in a strong innovation dilemma, and one way to solve it, one path towards speeding up the innovation processes was the collaboration with startups. So we've been kind of looking into this topic since the foundation of Brutkasten, since the first hour of Brutkasten, and we saw a lot of partnerships in the ecosystem in the past 11 years, how these partnerships evolved, and that brought us last year to starting a deep dive series on corporate venturing with 8 pioneers of Austrian ecosystem who are doing this work, who were also willing to share their learnings about corporate venturing and their kind of methods of how they do it. Those were 8 initial partners. VERBUND, Francis here today, UNIQA, RBI, AVL, ÖBB, Plug and Play, Vienna Airport. Very important key players of Austrian ecosystem who are open for innovating, who are investing, who are partnering with startups in different ways, accelerators, clienting, building, all the methods that we have here. And this year, we're super happy that we have new additional partners on board, Wien Energie, whataventure, and AKELA. And we are trying to show the strength and the power of Austrian ecosystem around the topic of corporate venturing. Obviously, we have international role models. We look at America, we look at Israel, and all the ecosystems that are thriving and that are our role models, but we also wanted to show the pioneers from Austria to be the role models and magnets for other enterprise and maybe also middle-sized companies from Austria. So that was the background of this series. And then we did 6 roundtables, deep dives into different topics, along kind of from beginning, what do we understand under corporate venturing and how do we do it, what are the methods, how to measure it, and all the learnings from the ecosystem. Then we did a lot of writing on it, obviously as a media company, and the white paper, which we brought here today as well. If somebody wants to take it, I think it's outside waiting for you, or at brutkasten.com, you can feel free to download it. And the purpose of this white paper was to show how corporate venturing is done in Austria. We can do it, we do it right. There's a lot of learning. We're still obviously in the process, but we can learn from each other. And Austrian companies often say, well, it's easy for Amazon and Google to do it, but we really can't. And we proved, and we're proving, still in the process of proving, that Austrian companies can do that. Enterprise companies that are really, really, really skilled in that and willing to share this knowledge and these skills. I strongly believe that corporate venturing is one of the key drivers of economic growth and of innovation. I strongly believe since day one that collaborating between startups, corporates, but also cross-industry is one of the most effective ways to innovate outside of your core business, as many of players are here doing, and this is the knowledge that we wanted to share. And thank you again to all partners from last year and this year who are doing it. We don't only have enterprise clients in Austria who are doing it, also legal advisors like AKELA or whataventure or Plug and Play who are specialized on innovation processes, on venture building, on all other methods, and support the enterprise clients as well. So we have all the ingredients in Austria that we need. Maybe we also have to make stronger awareness on the political side to incentivize the process and activities in corporate venturing, be it capital or any kind of collaboration that obviously also needs money, but we are also on it and trying to raise awareness also on the political side for this topic of corporate venturing. What are the outcomes of this white paper? I will obviously not be able to use 10 minutes to deep dive in every aspect, but maybe just a few ideas for you. So what is the main motivation? Why do companies, enterprise companies in Austria do corporate venturing? Why do they engage in it? Develop new growth opportunities and business models outside the core business, but also attached to the core business to accelerate these processes and speed. Bring new technologies and services into core business units. So the technological transfer into the core business and continue to contribute to broader mission. For example, again, VERBUND, energy transition, such a big topic. And one of the ways to do it, it's also corporate venturing or digital mobility. Or we had a few weeks ago, Japan Airlines here in Vienna, and they are using corporate venturing and corporate venture capital to transit from being an airline to being a mobility provider. So you see that the importance of corporate venturing is strongly strategic. And I'm completely convinced, and there's a lot of literature on that, it's not a luxury. It's a necessity to survive. And this is, I guess, my main point that I would like to bring across today in this audience, but also abroad, maybe also on the political scale. Before I continue, yesterday I had two experiences that I wanted to share with you. These kind of things change the presentation then as well, but maybe they're relevant because obviously we know that enterprise clients, enterprise companies need to innovate in order to be competitive. But I think it's also important for middle-sized companies and even for small companies as my own, 15 employees in Vienna. Yesterday I spoke to one business owner of a production company. They have approximately 30 million revenue. For Austria, that's a middle-sized company. And they're obviously struggling because the costs of human resources in Austria have been rising quite strongly beyond market in the past years, but also energy costs and other costs. And I asked him, so what is the solution? They did a lot of cost optimizing. Basically, whatever they could do, they did. And I said, well, so now it's about revenue increase. In my business, it's all about revenue increase. You can solve everything over revenue. In their business, not. He said, I can make 20 more million of revenue, but my product is not profitable, so it doesn't help me. I need to make the product profitable. And then he said, and this is really, they're struggling, it's about bankruptcy or surviving and growing further. It's a serious thing. And he said, owner, he invested many millions 2 years ago in this company. He said, the only way to survive is innovation now, because we need to put innovative features around our products, be it services or other features, so that our clients will be willing to pay more money for this product. So you see the really, really core relevance. Or even in the super small companies like my own, Brutkasten, we had one of our top clients yesterday visiting us, and they had some. We also have an agency who does video production, broadcasting, and such things. And we've been doing that for them and with them as well, on top of designing events. And they said, listen, now we have also some internal resources for broadcasting, for video, and for graphic design. And we're a bit under pressure to use these internal resources as well. So we're not going to be able to use it from your contract anymore, probably. And they said, but we definitely want to continue the work with you because it benefited us so much and the partnership is so good. So what we now need from you is the next wave of innovation. Bring us something that we haven't seen before. So even my own company is forced to save the contract to again outperform our own selves. Is it always fun? I like to innovate. Sometimes I'm referred to as Mr. Innovation in the ecosystem, but it's not always fun. Sometimes I just wish, can we just sell this product for the next 2 years and not have to, so to say, change it again? And the same is in the production company. So it's not about fun and luxury. It's really a necessity to survive. Now, a small company as my own, as a mid-sized company, can get in trouble relatively fast. Enterprise cannot get in trouble so fast as we can. But if they do, they cannot get out of trouble so fast. So I think it's really necessary to start on a strategic level, thinking about corporate venturing, implementing it, working on it, doing the first small steps. VERBUND is very advanced nowadays, but that wasn't how they started. They started with their first steps, with their first 2, 3, 4, 5 people. Today there are 14, 15, or even more people investing on many, many broader scales. And that would be kind of my call to Austrian economy. Join this ecosystem. We need to broaden up the ecosystem. We have know-how. We have enterprise clients who are doing it. We have experts on the legal side, on the consulting side who do it. And we have the capital that is here. And let's join forces to innovate together with this really strong method of corporate venturing when it's done correctly. Maybe just some key learnings from ecosystem that we were able to create. I have 5 minutes more. I'll be very, very fast. So one thing that we saw was very important, and the success factor, clear governance structure and internal structure. So you need internally clear governance structure, fast lanes, and people who are really in charge of creating the environment so that corporate venturing is possible, whatever you're doing. Is it incubators, accelerators, clienting, building, investing, whatever it is, it needs a clear governance. If you're investing, for example, this is what I also learned from VERBUND, you need to be venture capital-like. You have to have processes that are fast, that you can make very, very fast decisions. So governance and internal structure, also internal buy-in in the business lines, super very important, and the process how to get to it and achieve it. KPIs and values realization. So it's very important to measure success. It's not a playground. It's not a playground when you just don't have anything else to do. It has to make a contribution to core business or some financial return, ideally both are necessary. So define the KPIs that are both financial and strategic. There's a lot of know-how in the market and internationally on that, but everybody has to go their own path. There's no copy-paste like nowhere in life, but you can learn from learnings from other people. Venture capital and startup access. Not every company has also a venture capital fund, corporate venture capital fund, but those who have shared those learnings with us. One of the things is obviously the governance, which is important. And why do they do it? Early access to disruptive innovation. You have your skin in the game, smaller tickets that maybe you can increase if it has strategic value, that you can grow with, and you have insights. It's super important tool as well, not maybe for everyone to do it alone, but everybody can invest with somebody together. I think this is also the room for improvement and potentially in Austria ecosystem for companies who don't want to put so much risk into it and do it on their own, to partner with VERBUND and other players and do together these activities. Community and culture, community building around the topics that are important to me. Is it energy transition? Is it fintech? Is it whatever it is? Mobility, create communities around it. Build the ecosystems around it so that you can approach these guys and girls faster. It's all kind of no-brainers when I read about it, but it takes a lot of structure, a lot of strategic work to do it, to decide to do it, and then to really execute and do it. There's some sort of fast lanes into trying things out. Venture clienting proved to be one of those, which are partnerships with startups working on different projects. For those companies who are not willing to start with a big bang, they could do small steps, maybe innovation challenge, maybe venture clienting program or other things. Venture building will be one of the topics that we will look at this year even stronger, especially with whataventure and AKELA and Wien Energie. They all, one of the expertise that they have is especially also around venture building, so we'll look at this year even stronger. I have to slowly finish. So why, again, to sum up, why is this important in Austria? I'm convinced that we have all the ingredients that we need to be successful economically. And one way, one accelerator, one power tool for it is corporate venturing. Done right, with pioneers of the ecosystem, decide to take money in your hand, and we'll try to also increase the awareness on the political side to kind of also do our part in doing that so that we can together grow and bring our ecosystem further. We have the talent, we have the financial power, we have the infrastructure and know-how in the market, and nothing can stop us except us to do it. So thank you very much for listening, and all the best.